The more we learn about it, the clearer it becomes that XCOM Enemy Unknown is defined by harsh consequences. Your tactical decisions determine whether your precious squad members live or die, and your wide-ranging strategic decisions plot the fates of the nations you're entrusted to protect. Flub a few too many of these decisions, and it's curtains for humanity. Few games these days actually allow you to lose and suffer consequences more severe than a checkpoint restart. But if the game's developers say it's true, then XCOM's relentless strategic AI is out for game over from the start. Firaxis is hoping that direct human competition will prove as alluring as the wicked computer opponent you're up against in the single-player game. During a recent visit to the developer's studio outside of Baltimore, we got to check out XCOM's heretofore unannounced multiplayer component. Here's some details as to how it's going to work. If you're familiar with tabletop war games or their digital offspring, chances are you know all about building an army against a strict point limit. XCOM's multiplayer will operate under precisely such a system. Your squad can be up to 6 units strong, though you're under no obligation to fill every spot in the roster. The stronger the unit, the higher the cost. And if our experience playing the game is any indication, a smaller, beefier squad is very much a viable force. During informal games, players will be able to set the upper limit on total point values, though when it comes to ranked matches, Firaxis is currently settled on 10,000 point squads. From where we're sitting, this seems like it'll make for some very tough decisions. The demo matches that we played during our visit allowed for 20,000 point squads, and even that generous limit engendered a good deal of hand-wringing when it came to deciding which units made the cut. There's also a cap on how long you can dally on your turn. During our demo matches, it was set at 2 full minutes, which seems like an eternity when you're waiting for your opponent to maneuver against you, but all too fleeting when it's your go to move your force. Lowly sectoids, burly mutons, grossly overpowered cyber discs. If it has a place in the XCOM Rogues Gallery, you'll get to field it in your multiplayer squad. This also includes any flavor of XCOM soldier you can imagine. All the alien monsters have fixed point values, key to their relative strength, but when it comes to building and outfitting human soldiers for your force, you have a great deal of leeway. When you add a grunt to your squad, you can choose their rank, which comes with a pre-selected assortment of the same talents available in single-player games. You can also equip them with all manner of fancy gear, special armor sets, which let them fly, stealth, or grapple onto elevated structures, advanced weapons and sidearms, and auxiliary items like medpacks or grenades. You can even give them powerful psionic powers. Naturally, all these goodies cost points, and if you're fielding more than a couple of advanced soldiers, it becomes a real slippery slope. In the matches we played, we favored a max-rank psychic sniper, decked out with an advanced accuracy-assisting scope, and a set of Archangel armor, the kind that lets you fly. While this ace in the hole made the later cat-and-mouse portions of the matches all the more interesting, he sure did eat up a substantial portion of our point allocations. XCOM will feature ranked multiplayer matches and leaderboards, and it begs the question, how will Firaxis respond to questions of balance? With a light touch, evidently. During our visit, the team made it clear that rather than tinker with the actual mechanics that drive the units, they'll simply alter their point values, making them more expensive to field. Doing so won't usually require a very onerous process for the players, think patches, and they're convinced it'll suffice as a means to promote balance. It'll be interesting to see how the post-launch crush of competition, full of players hungry to climb the leaderboards, will bear this out. As mentioned before, Firaxis is set on a 10,000 point limit for ranked matches. If the values remain close to what they were in the build that we played, the burliest units in the game, like the cyber discs and the kitted out psionic soldiers, will eat up more than half that. From the looks of it, you're going to need a plan, as well as a ringer, if you want to compete at the highest levels. The build of XCOM Enemy Unknown we played during our visit was looking pretty together, and it was interesting to see its multiplayer game so thoroughly developed. But of course, it's ultimately all about the long game when it comes to XCOM. With 2 months of polishing time ahead of it, we're hoping to try our hand at saving the planet before too long. Look for our full review in October.